everybody. Welcome to the Death Battle Cast, the show that never falls behind because we're more focused on working on the show you actually subscribe to this channel for. Hi, I'm Ben. I play Wiz in Death Battle, and I'm here to talk about some Death Battle stuff with my good friends and co-workers. Hey, it's Liam. I don't actually remember what our position is.
Hey
there, everybody. How you doing? Ooh, my hair is sticking up. Oh my god, I was up since like 8 a.m. Isn't that wild? Isn't it so early? Isn't that like the earliest anyone's ever woken up, 8 a.m.? Then I went all the way up to 116th Street, and I had to go all the way back down to Ridgewood, which is a long way. Long way. I hope you're doing well.
Yes. Very, very familiar with that path.
Everyone knows what you're talking about.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Hey, we got Josh. Josh is here too. Somewhere. Here he
Transition.
comes. There he is.
Hello.
Whoa! You were ready for it. We haven't even announced what today is.
Yeah, this
what
is
month
unrelated. I just like doing this.
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, before we get to that, we have one more person. It's Billy. It's Billy. Oh my gosh, you
That's
guys
just a
are ready
regular
for
intro
this.
for me.
Excellent.
All right. Yes. If you couldn't tell, today is the first day of a very special month. Actually, it's technically the third day, but it's the first podcast of a very special month. Welcome to the SKELETOBER Celebration. There he is. If you were not here last year, SKELETOBER is the month of spooky death metal matchups, I guess.
What else?
Also, October doesn't exist anymore. It's just SKELETOBER now. Okay,
Yeah.
so make sure you get that
Official.
in your head.
Skele is
remove
Greek for
October.
8. Yeah, that's why.
Sure. Yeah. So today we will be starting off SKELETOBER with a battle of spooky undead pirates.
Yeah.
We've got
What better way to start?
Spinal from Killer Instinct and Cervantes from Soul Calibur. I'm very excited to get into this. But we also have a few other things coming up in the show today. Of course, we have a death battle coming out very soon. Frieza versus Megatron. We'll be checking out more of that later on today. There might be a little sneak peek for you. We are, if you have not seen the most recent death battle, Alex versus Cole, be sure to check that one out. That also has some spooky vibes in it. We had a whole horror scene in that one. That was fun. Yeah, very, very proud of what the team put together for that. Yeah, and then of course, at the moment, I need to pull this up. I need to check on this. There's currently a vote going on for the champions on the Death Battle YouTube page. So champions watching this live, if you're not watching this live, we do this live every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central. If you are not a champion, a member for the Death Battle channel, you can currently go in and vote for vote in our Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
Where at the end of the tournament
Of champions. He never does it for me.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
he has to wait a
actually
bit.
got
He does it until I acknowledge that he didn't do
Throw
it.
that away.
We're
like
getting
a
better
cat.
at this.
Where like
Well-
I'm like, Pat, I know what you want, and I know that that I'm doing what you want, and they're like, no, I have to be the one to do it. You little bastards. Mike is a cat.
Well, if you check out the community page right now, there is a poll going on for the current bracket, which is Ragna the Blood Edge versus Velvet Crow, Sailor Moon versus Madoka, Scorpion versus Wolf from Sekiro, and Composite Ryu versus Composite Goku. And man, this vote has been very close.
Yeah.
This since the start.
It can still be swung, I think.
Yes. Well, at this very moment, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like Sailor Moon versus Madoka. I've watched this. I don't know
Madoka.
how to pronounce it for some reason. Madoka. Yes, watch the show. It's great.
Fantastic.
It is at 38% of the vote, while Composite Ryu versus Composite Goku is at 37, which means it could change as this podcast is going.
Yeah.
So we are going to leave this up for the majority of cast. we will get to the maybe about 3/4 of the way through cast. I'll let you know when we're getting to it. We will end the poll, declare a winner, and then also announce the next 4 for the next bracket. I'm very excited to get to. But yeah, if you have not voted in it right now, or if you want to change your vote, go to the community tab on the Death Battle page. Scroll down just a little bit. It's just like 2 or 3 posts down, and get your vote in, because
It's a nail biter.
each vote really counts right now.
I'm excited about this one. Like Composite Goku, Composite Ryu, really exciting potential. Also, I would kill someone to direct Madoka versus Sailor Moon. So, you know,
Who would you kill?
whoever's in my way, really.
Be us, right?
Yeah. So just
I want to know
mean,
who the
warning.
most important
Interestingly
person
enough,
you would kill. To
This
get them.
this current cast right now is all directors. All of us are directors
just
of
that's
Death Battle episodes.
Yeah, that's my warning. This is my Skeletober warning to all 3 of
Okay,
you.
so at least the 3 of
Interesting.
us. Okay, cool.
So we
Hot.
might have to do a little battle royale today to see who's going to direct whichever one wins this episode or wins this tournament. All right. Again, whichever one, this whole tournament is going to be going on for a little while, and we are still taking suggestions in the Discord ballot. So if you haven't let us know what matchup you want to see in the tournament, please go to the Discord and leave it there. But when this is all said and done, which should be like in a month and a half from now or something like that, I just pulled that out of my ass. I don't actually know what the timeline is. When it's all said and done, whichever matchup wins this tournament, the Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
No delay when you do it. There's absolutely no delay
One
when
was
you do it.
clean.
It's only when I do
Will
it.
be made into an episode, no
Tournament of
matter
Champions.
which matchup wins. So if you want to just make life miserable for us, you can vote on whichever one is the most difficult episode. No, we really appreciate you guys voting in this tournament, and also the newer sort of format compared to what we did last year. But anyway, we need to get into this community death battle,
Yeah.
right?
Pirates.
I've maybe been delaying a bit because I am arguing for Cervantes and Liam is arguing for Spinal. So
Don't worry,
let's go
I
ahead,
also
do this.
am not. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge
I'm
of
so
Killer
prepared,
Instinct.
Liam. I spent as much time as I could.
Yeah, never mind,
Not
I'm
working on the
fucking
actual Death
super
Battle
ready.
show and instead working on this. Okay, so let's get into this. As always, I will be arguing for someone. As always, we will be arguing for our characters. That's how this works. And you guys will be able to vote on who wins at the end of the show, as well as Josh and Billy making up the 3 votes of our jury. Okay, so let's do this. Liam, do you want to get started?
No.
You look like you
You're
want to get
so
started.
ready
so you,
to do Cervantes.
60 seconds on
So
the
I
clock.
think
Liam,
you
tell us
should
about
jump in.
Spinal.
How ready you are.
What's Spinal's deal?
Spinal is a pirate skeleton. And
Mhm.
it's funny when you look at him in Killer Instinct 1, he's like the most basic ass looking skeleton ever. But he had the greatest glow up aesthetically in the new Killer Instinct series, and that matches his glow up in the lore. Because in Shadow Lords, which is like the canon story for Killer Instinct KI, he's super fucking powerful. He's one of the strongest members. Like, they're all kind of generally on the same basic level of power, but Spinal has outright like matched or defeated characters that are explicitly one of the stronger ones in the series, ones that actually can contend with Gargos, and that's going to be very important. Spinal has tons of hacks abilities. He can nullify Cervantes' attacks. He can nullify his soul manipulation. He has way more options. He's way fucking stronger. He's gonna rip Cervantes a new asshole and fucking murder him to death.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Threatening to rip somebody an asshole. That's
Yeah.
an interesting way
A lot
to
of death
decide
threats
to
in
kill
this cast
someone.
so far.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Be violent. Be
Says the
brutal.
guy who threatened to kill people. All right, I'll talk about Cervantes. Let's do this. Okay, so Cervantes de Leon. He is, I believe that's his last name.
Yes.
When you look at Cervantes, you might see just like he's a ghost pirate, a zombie pirate. How fun! What a silly throwaway character. No, Cervantes is one of the most important and most powerful characters in the entire Soul Calibur universe. You have no fucking idea. It started with him, damn it. He was the original bad guy. He's the one who found Soul Edge. He found the complete Soul Edge, which Nightmare never even fucking had. Cervantes is so powerful, it requires holy energy to defeat him. And even that did not defeat him. He just came back. The guy is an incredibly powerful warrior, an incredibly skilled hunter, treasure hunter, and just pirate in general. And he just doesn't die. In fact, it is kind of his thing that he just can't die. And even when you think he's gone and Soul Edge has him in his grip, he just shows up anyway. Fuck Soul Edge. He's his own man. Cervantes' story is wild, guys.
I forgot that he has the full Soul Edge. I did forget
Yeah,
about
he's
that.
the main bad guy of the first game.
Yeah.
Right.
Which you look at Soul.
We all
Soul
forget
Calibur,
about Soul
right?
Edge as a game
Yeah,
existed.
or Soul Blade, as it's called in some places as well. Like, but you look at it and you think, oh, it's like a traditional, not traditional, but like Magic Fantasy,
yeah.
game. And you look at enemies like Nightmare and Abyss and things like that. It's like, oh, they fight like evil knights and monsters and things like that. But no, the first game, the main bad guy was just a fucking pirate.
Yeah.
Like,
Spinal is actually like 2,000 years old, which I just learned recently. He was 2,000 years
okay.
old as a pirate that like discovered the Mask of the Ancients, which I think is his shield that he has. And it gave him immortality, but it like dissolved his flesh and it made him like he could still think, but he couldn't control his body. So he was basically like an undead warrior for 2,000 fucking years, battling against his own will, slowly being driven insane by like the thousands of years of combat and murder and slaughter and experience. Until I think he finally regained control of himself like 600 something years ago. Spinal is like, he's like definitively fucking insane, like completely insane, but it explicitly doesn't get in the way of his combat ability. Like he's been noted to be like super on the ball when it comes to fighting, because it's just like, it's been like mashed into his body, into his like his being. And I should add, I think this is actually a really important point in Spinal's favor. Let me bring up Slack. But Mike, if you could bring up image 2, please. If you could bring up image 2. Spinal is actually not a skeleton. Spinal is a disembodied green ectoplasm. That green energy stuff, that's Spinal, and it's simply holding his skeleton together. And inhabiting the skeleton. So you can see him
he is
like
a skeleton. He's just more than.
Well, what happens is that like why I'm saying that is that the integrity of the skeleton does not matter. We see when he appears like in the fighting game thing, the skeleton is like reforming itself. He can like fall apart, he can be busted to pieces, and then he'll just reform it because it's the energy itself that is his essence. Hypothetically, he could do it to something else, but we'll just leave it for the skeleton for now because it's what he's shown doing. So he's really fucking hard to kill, basically impossible to kill unless you were to like disintegrate whatever he could possess, or destroy his like soul energy.
Unfortunately, Liam, I'm pretty sure there's a rule in Skeletober that we don't allow any fake skeletons on the cast during Skeletober.
Okay, Cervantes, fucking get
Cervantes isn't
disqualified.
trying to be a fake skeleton. He's just a zombie pirate.
He's not even a fake skeleton. He's not a
I mean,
skeleton.
technically
at all.
would have a fake skeleton, a real skeleton beneath the zombie.
does have a
part,
real
I have a
skeleton,
real
so-
skeleton. Am I a fucking Skeletober combatant?
You know what I'm excited
You
about
could
with
be.
this is that this is a undead pirate battle.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is great.
Pirates are
We're living a
cool.
ghost story. So it's great.
Whoever wins
So-
this should fight Luffy. There, we finally have our Luffy match.
There we go. Is Spinal
Decided.
Spinal is a skeleton that's held together by an ectoplasmic soul? Is that the idea?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Interesting. Well, Cervantes' whole thing is eating souls.
That's true.
So
That's true. That's
that's
absolutely
going to
true.
be tough.
And here's my counter to that, because I figured that would come up. Spinal has explicitly resisted soul manipulation by Gargos, who is able to fuck
okay.
over the entire planet with his like soul fuckery
I think
powers.
you might need to explain Gargos for.
Gargos is
So
an
what-
interdimensional conqueror. He's the boss of KI2, and he's the overarching villain of the entire series. He famously like beats the fuck out of Idol in the lore, and he
The
is
the original final boss.
yeah, the original final boss, and he's super fucking powerful. I believe that he is born from like a black hole. Like he is like the essence of a black
Sure.
hole, and other astral lords are
Sure.
stars.
Okay.
It's a fighting
his-
game, so they're just whatever, right? Just throw whatever in the text, doesn't matter.
I guess
Mad
since
Lib
we're
style.
talking about him, his battle with Idol was literally described as like a battle of like exploding stars. And in
Nice.
case that sounds like sort of poetic, because that's what I thought too. One of the Glacius mimic, who is one of like his servants that he created in like the form of Glacius, says that Gargos. He's like Gargos. I mean, I'll just bring it up. Why don't I need to like fucking say? Like, if you could bring up image 3.
By the way, I think I saw Gelatin Man donated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
subs,
wasn't
so
paying
Oh
attention.
my
thanks very
God.
much.
Thank you,
So much,
Gelatin
dude.
Man.
Gelatin Man, I love you
Good job on
deeply,
that.
I won't
emotionally.
be coming for you, Gelatin Man. Don't worry.
Gargos can destroy whole suns. Why not a mere ember?
What? No,
Yeah.
he can't.
And okay, if you still doubt it, image 1, Mike. This is just the result of Gargos appearing on Earth, like just traveling to Earth. It's hard to see because it's not in motion, but you actually see a wave of clouds like crossing over the entire planet. So that's been calced to like multi-continental levels. So Gargos
Okay.
is the real motherfucker.
Okay.
He's a big boy.
It is Gargos though. We're not pitting Gargos against Cervantes.
We're not. We can get to the
are pitting
scaling later.
Spinal.
I'm obviously
Yeah.
there's a scaling.
Yeah. So Cervantes.
Yeah.
So let me kind of talk a little bit about Cervantes because his story is wacky. So he's not the original wielder of Soul Edge, but he's the original one in like the modern era. He discovered it when it was split into two. It was specifically, I think, like hiding from Soul Calibur at the time. It's a little vague why it was split into two. I think they just didn't think about it when they made the game. But it's split into two swords, and this works great for Cervantes because he's a dual sword wielder. So he was basically on a quest to find Soul Edge, this weapon that people have been looking for centuries. The last time it had been seen was like with King Arthur. I think King Arthur used Soul Calibur to break it. So it's been missing forever, and Cervantes managed to find it. When he took it, Soul Edge possessed him. The possession thing is going to come up later, but essentially, Soul Edge, if you don't know what it is a weapon that has been, the way they describe it is it started off as just a normal sword, and then it was bathed in so much blood and violence and hatred for so long that it developed its own conscience and mind and power to become this literally evil godlike weapon. It has a mind of its own called Inferno, sort of like a demon, but it's not technically a demon. It's more like just this entity that is the sword's mind. It is incredibly powerful. It possesses enormous energy, and it was originally kind of like tied to an alternate plane of reality called the astral chaos, which is where a lot of the power like is tied to, I believe. Think like the astral plane or elemental chaos, those kinds of things. And over time, it just became more and more powerful over the years until Cervantes got it and basically became an unkillable like slaughter machine for 25 years. Cervantes became a pirate to specifically spite the Spanish Empire. And when he got it, I guess the sword was like, hey, that sounds cool. Let's go do that. So they just spent 25 years murdering people in Spain, basically. That was Cervantes' whole thing. But he also became immortal while he was holding on to it, so he didn't really age. The only thing that stopped him was when Sophitia showed up, specifically infused with the holy power of Hephaestus, which is one of the Greek gods, the Greek god of the forge. So it required that power to not defeat Cervantes, just to break one Soul Edge. Didn't get the other one. It just one of them. And it ended up requiring basically the powers of Sophitia and Taki, who also wields a magic sword, to finally take down Cervantes temporarily. Because when Sophitia shattered the first Soul Edge, it blew apart and shards of the Soul Edge went into her body and Cervantes' body. And so long as those shards are in Cervantes' body, whenever Soul Edge powers up or does anything, those shards activate too. And that's how he came back to life and became a zombie pirate. And now he is immortal powered by the shards of Soul Edge essentially within him, um, and on a mission essentially to reform Soul Edge for himself. And because there's so many, like the other Soul Edge eventually gets shattered when Nightmare's holding it, or Siegfried's holding it. Because there's so many shards out there, he eventually did put together another Soul Edge. So technically he's wielded Soul Edge multiple times. And basically the way his story ends is he gets like sent into the astral plane by his daughter Ivy, because it's like they're sending Soul Edge and Soul Calibur and they're just get rid of these fucking things, and he's basically just uh part of Soul Edge at this point. Like he's connected to it, so they just send him into the astral chaos and they're like, get rid of him, he's gone, whatever. And then a couple years later he just shows up. He's just like, I'm done being possessed by Soul Edge, which is important. He somehow on his own breaks his possession of being possessed by Soul Edge, breaks out of the astral chaos, which as far as I know no mortal can do. There's no explanation for how he's able to do this. He just does.
Just does it, sure.
And somehow gets a new pirate crew, and it's just like, he's just having a good time. Like, and that's his current story.
Happy
basically
for him. Happy for
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
big
he's
lug.
great.
The pirate's life.
I mean, he's a horrible, vicious murderer who wants to kill his daughter because he thinks she's like the perfect host or something for
I
Soul
mean, we
Edge.
all got
But,
problems.
Right.
but outside
Move
of that,
past it.
he's a lot of fun. And Soul Edge is incredibly powerful. When Soul Edge and there's this character named how do you pronounce his name? Zasalamel, I think.
Dingus.
Who basically wanted to use the power of Soul Edge and Soul Calibur to become a new entity who could die. It's a whole thing. He couldn't die before. And when he became that entity, the power of Soul Edge basically exploded to transform him into Abyss. And upon doing so, it somehow shifted the cosmos to create this, like, to cause the world to burn and a moon to form in front of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a sunny day, and then boom, he becomes Abyss, and there's a solar eclipse happening all of a sudden. So either it specifically moved the moon in front of the sun, or it created a moon to block out all light so that this darkness or whatever could take over. Which is one of the more incredible feats that Soul Edge's energy has performed over the years. But it's also just like, you can't destroy the sword unless you have the holy power of Hephaestus, which has never come back, by the way. I don't know why they don't just get that again. Or Soul Calibur, which is like its counterpart, essentially. They're like a married couple, essentially. If you don't have one of those, you can't destroy Soul Edge. It's not breaking.
Mhm.
And so long as he's tied to Soul Edge, he's indestructible. Like, he'll always come back.
Well, how long does
So,
it take to come back?
Instant. When Soul Edge activated, when the evil seed happened, when Siegfried took Soul Edge and it activated all the pieces, he just woke up. He was back.
Because of the pieces that are inside his body?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then I think the solution is pretty simple. You don't need to destroy Soul Edge. You just need to destroy his body. Right? If there's no body, they're no longer inside of him. And
Cervantes.
and speaking of destroying your body by disintegration, one of Spinal's No Mercies, which is like the KI sort of like PG-13 version of a fatality. One of his No Mercies is to like summon a bolt of lightning to completely disintegrate you. Now, obviously, Cervantes is more powerful than a normal bolt of lightning, but this is magic that can affect other KI combatants, so it would be as powerful as, as Spinal is, as the other people he can use it against is. And it can completely disintegrate you. Also, my favorite one is a humiliation that he has, where he compels you magically to dance for eternity.
Ooh.
It's just it's
fun.
just and it's like it plays like the DK like rap music from Rareware at the time, and you just dance,
Excellent.
and then the screen goes to black.
I don't know if you could just get rid of his body though, because he's been cut to ribbons. Presumably, it's a fighting game, so we don't know exactly what. But like, Taki and Sofitia kill him with swords.
Yeah,
Like, they don't just punch him to like kill him. They
Sure.
slice him apart, and then he's back.
I think that
So-
I think that if he's like immortal, you could probably argue that like he could regrow organs or something like that. But like turning to dust, it legit. I could like take a screenshot right now. It legit like turns you to fucking dust. My favorite one, actually, my actual favorite one,
I don't know.
because this is a joke that I make a lot on this show about a combatant being able to do this when I can't think of something else to say. But actually, one of Spinal's No Mercies is summoning a skeleton to reach out of the ground and drag you into hell.
Nice.
So wait, does he just control the undead? Can he control other
He can-
skeletons?
so yeah,
Just
in
that
the
one.
original game, he can
Just
summon.
that one.
He can like summon like skeletons to come out of the ground and attack you. In the new game, he summons like spectral hands that can grab you and pick you up and throw you and smash you and shit like that. I think one of his most useful abilities is actually it's called Power Devour, which is where he uses his shield to like absorb any like projectile, any sort of magical attack at him, absorb it into him, and then it creates like a little skull that he can then like fire back at you. The Mask of the Ancients, I think that's what his shield is. If I'm not, then he still has the Mask of the Ancients, but
Okay.
something else.
Okay, so he's got lightning powers.
Yeah.
But does Spinal have a gun? You know what Cervantes has? He's got a fucking gun.
I remember that from Ivy
his
versus
sword.
Orchid. The gun.
What
kit-
kind of
and it
like a
shoots
pirate
fireballs.
Pistol? Oh, never mind. Okay.
It is
Fireball
it
gun.
is a
Well,
it
then-
is it's based yeah, it's presented as a flintlock pistol built into the sword.
Yeah,
But like
that's right.
in the game, he like shoots fireballs out of it. So
Nice.
it's clearly not a normal gun.
Like
Well, then that's
mini
perfect, because that's
cannonballs,
just
or-
giving him that's just giving Spinal an opportunity to use Power Devour. 'Cause when I was going to this, I was like, does Cervantes even have magical attacks, or does he just use his swords? Because then the Power Devour thing isn't really useful. But if he does,
What's the
then
power devour thing?
he uses
Say
his
that
shield to absorb magical attacks, any sort of projectile
Oh.
at him, like fire, like anything that the KI characters throw at each other, absorbs it in, creates a
okay.
little skull that hovers, and then he throws it back.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so he could counter the gun.
Yeah.
All right. Unless Cervantes combos him and then hits him with a gun, which is what a lot of his moves do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the
Um,
combo breaker.
Oh my god, he does
That's
have a
the
combo
most
breaker.
busted
Shit.
attack that he has. is
I'm
combo
trying to
breaker.
remember if Cervantes has like some. I swear he
Ends
can summon
reality.
lightning too. I swear he's summoned lightning
Probably.
before. But you know, I don't actually remember. Either way, I did see a few people in chat asking about a certain move that Cervantes has, but which is specifically about souls. So if Spinal's if the only way to really kill Spinal is to attack his soul,
Yeah.
There's of course the question: can Cervantes do that? Yes, absolutely. In fact, the main power of Soul Edge, the way Soul Edge has built up its power over the years, is while it was like being bathed in blood or whatever, it was devouring souls. And while Cervantes wields it, those souls actually power him as well. In order for them to get him into the astral chaos, Ivy has to know this whole alchemical like ritual to basically pull all the souls out of Cervantes and send them into the chaos with him. Like that's how he's sent. So basically just hitting somebody with Soul Edge can take away their soul or malfest them, which is like basically infecting them with this like mind altering it's not really a disease, it's more like just a curse.
Yeah.
Curse them with this manifestation that allows Soul Edge to control them. Technically speaking, that's kind of what happened to Cervantes in the first place, but because he's the wielder of Soul Edge, it's a little bit different. And also later on, he regained control over himself anyway. But yes, it can absolutely devour souls, so I don't see any reason why he couldn't just whack Spinal once and suck up the soul, and then it's just an empty skeleton on the ground.
Well, so what's the
The
extent
end.
of Spinal's soul resistance, or like soul manipulation resistance?
Gargos tried to steal his soul and failed. Is incapable of doing it. So I don't think Soul Edge would. Gargos is able to like cause like mind manipulation and soul manipulation stuff across the entire planet. Steal
but
billions
does
of souls
Gargos
at
like
once.
eat souls?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing as destroying a soul, or?
I believe he absorbs
does he take
souls.
it?
Yeah. I
I
think
feel like taking it would be different than trying to destroy it.
Yeah.
'Cause Cervantes isn't trying to destroy his soul. He's trying to use it against him, essentially.
Well, Gargos can take souls, and he failed to take Spinal Soul, so he would fail to take. So Soul Edge would fail to take Spinal Soul.
Unless Soul Edge is deadlier than Gargos.
I don't think so. Gargos, like I said, can fucking destroy suns. Like, that's more impressive than that moon
I don't
shit.
buy it.
Suns,
You don't
souls.
buy it? Oh, how fucking convenient.
I mean,
that you don't
technically
buy
speaking,
it.
Soul Edge has like the power of the astral chaos behind it, which is a whole dimension. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
there's
could
an
actually
astral
argue
plane in
that.
fucking AI too.
I mean,
Technically speaking, it's tied to that.
Ben's whole goal here is to not buy it, Liam. So I mean,
I
Right,
understand.
right.
There's a
Yeah. That's
here. My opponent just wants to win as well.
Yeah, if you present an argument for Spinal to win, my rebuttal is
I
no.
don't think so.
Stop, Liam.
No.
All right. I think now's probably a pretty good time to take a quick break to talk about some other stuff, but we will get to the vote for this in just a second. So let's talk about, let's start by actually talking about our sponsor for this week's episode, because we honestly couldn't do it without our sponsors. This week, we are sponsored by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh takes all the stress out of mealtime by delivering fresh ingredients and easy recipes right to your door. So skip that extra trip to the grocery store, and you can have dinner ready in no time with this meal kit. And the new fall season calls for new meals, and HelloFresh has a fresh fall lineup of delicious dinners and more to choose from. Take your pick from 40 weekly recipes that suit your lifestyle, from veggie to family friendly to fit and wholesome. They got a bunch. Like if you have a specific like diet that you're going for, or a meal plan that you really want, they probably have exactly what you're looking for. So I highly recommend checking out the website to and looking for exactly what you need, because they probably have it. But HelloFresh is also more than just dinners. You can also stock your fridge with easy breakfast, quick lunches, fresh snacks. Just shop HelloFresh Market and add any of these tasty, time-saving solutions to your weekly box. I love snacking, so this is very good. And frankly, as somebody who also does not love cooking, HelloFresh is like one of the only ways I've actually been able to like teach myself how to cook. It's very nifty in that way, because it gives you the whole, it's an easy to follow sheet that just tells you here's what you need. Actually, it gives you what you need. Here's what you need to do with what you already have, and then you just do it, and it doesn't take long at all. It's so easy. I really appreciate that fact of HelloFresh. So go to hellofresh.com/50cast and use the code 50cast for 50% off plus free shipping. That is a wildly good deal. Take advantage of it while you can. Again, go to hellofresh.com/50cast and use code 50cast for 50% off plus free shipping. Thanks again to HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Okay. Now, let's talk about what's going on. Having He-Man show up just reminded me. We don't have Chad for this week's episode, but you know what? I have a feeling at some point during our Skeletober celebration.
My eyes.
Do the hands again.
It's coming. Skeletober celebration! Chad will be showing up with his Skeletor voice, so don't worry. It's coming. Okay, so we have a couple things to talk about. We will get to the sneak peek for Frieza Megatron in just a minute. I did want to talk a little bit about something that we are going to be doing with that episode. Something we don't really want to have to do, but it's sort of come up. And last thing I want to do here is not tell you when something isn't quite working out for us, especially for the champions. So I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware that. We know one of the perks of being a champion, a planet level and higher, is to have that early access for episodes coming out on YouTube. There's a 24-hour window that an episode will be available to planet level champions and higher, similar to first members. It's also the same for first members. Unfortunately, We don't know if that's really working out in terms of YouTube's like structure. We think it might actually be hurting the episode overall. So for this one episode, we are going to be removing the 24-hour window for Frieza versus Megatron. We don't want to do this, and we don't want to make this a permanent thing, but we have noticed that the show that YouTube doesn't seem to like it when we do this. It doesn't seem like the website is built for this. Uh, the easiest way I can kind of present this is like impressions for episodes are really important within the first 24 hours, and we thought, the way it's designed, YouTube would make up for that. But we've noticed that whenever we release episodes to the public now, um, our impressions for each episode are millions less than they were before we had the 24-hour window. Millions. If it were like thousands less, I think we would just eat it. We'd be like, whatever, the champions are more important. But millions of impressions lost can be pretty damaging to a show, and we got a lot of people working on the show that we want to make sure can keep working on it. So we are going to be trying this. This is more so an experiment just to see if this fixes it, and if it does, if it turns out that this is the situation and the 24-hour window is unfortunately causing some problems with how YouTube just delivers episodes to people, and we have to remove that from the champion benefits, we will let you know. I want to make sure we are as clear with you as we possibly can, and we will provide a different value in place of it. But that's down the line. Hopefully, it doesn't come to that. We're just testing a theory right now. So I hope you guys can understand, and thank you so much for understanding. It will just be for this episode, and we will let you know what happens and what the results are. And that'll just be for Frieza versus Megatron, to be clear. At the moment, it is just for Frieza versus Megatron. So hopefully, it's a different solution, but we'll see.
The replacement incentive will be me going to your house and giving you a big hug and a smooch on the cheek.
Pretty good.
Do you guys want that? Do
Yeah.
you guys want that?
I was like, man, the cost of flying me around the entire country several million times is
that
really a lot. But if you guys say
I mean, maybe, yeah. Do you want this face showing up at your doorstep?
The view screen. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Maybe it's a little high, I think, for the planet level. But maybe we make a new level that's just like Liam level.
Yeah,
you pay,
absolutely.
That's
a high value.
$20 a month or whatever.
Does that
Liam
mean
shows
that I'm
up.
officially above like galaxy level? That's interesting.
Oh,
we're gonna keep that in mind.
It?
Feed everybody feet.
Nice.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you all so much for understanding. But since we're talking about Frieza Megatron, let's go ahead and show off that little sneak peek of what the episode is looking like. Let's bring it up.
Greetings, noble warrior of planet Cyber whatever. I, Lord Frieza, claim this world as my own. Cheer for me or face annihilation.
I have fought for my planet for eons. I would rather see it turn to ash than reside in your filthy hands, organic scum.
Oh, I love it when they monologue back. Pity. I'll have to construct a new mothership from your corpse.
Hell yes.
That's so
Okay.
good.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Yes. I've seen a couple people asking this in chat. That is Devil Artemis handling the animation and effects for Frieza Megatron. He's basically doing everything, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's so freaking good and fast at what he does. It's
indeed.
incredible. And a few of you are correct. I see some people asking about the voice actor for Frieza. That is indeed Little Karibo. Martin himself is voicing Frieza. We also got Tom Shulkin voicing Megatron. If you don't know who he is, Tom has been in Death Battle several times before. You may know him as the voice of our Dio Brando, our Omni-Man, our SpongeBob SquarePants.
That's the that's
Yep.
the trio.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
SpongeBob
The
is
Mount
voicing
Rushmore.
Megatron. And we got Brandon on a track that well, I'll save talking about the track because there's some things about the track that I want to talk about, but I want to wait till it's actually out and the whole episode is out. It's been really fun. And Brandon's been killing it with the music, just the music overall this year. Like both Brandon
yeah.
and Aaron have been doing
Mhm.
such a kick-ass job. Yeah, so Frieza Megatron will be coming out this weekend. Very excited for you guys to see it. This is an episode that we've honestly wanted to do for a very long time. And I'm so excited. It's been ages since we've had a Transformer on the
Mhm.
show,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
about time. Jeez.
Optimus Prime. Man.
Yeah, remember Optimus Prime versus still one of my favorite episodes.
I
honestly.
love it. The
So
the
good.
wheel
stuff.
kick, the wheel rubbing against the face when he kicks him in the face is like one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
things ever.
Okay. Before we get to back to Spinal versus Cervantes, there is one other thing we need to talk about. The Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
All right. Get your votes in right now. Last minute votes.
Go,
Here we
go,
go.
go.
We are going to end it in like 30 seconds. Do we want to do a countdown? I actually don't know how we're going to do this. This is the first time it's been this close, right?
Mhm.
It's really close. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. How do I you know what? Mike,
Getting
can you
so
bring up that
dizzy.
60-second timer? Can you bring up that 60-second timer? Yes, let's
Hey,
just count
now-
down. When
now
the
it feels,
timer gets to 0, that's when we will declare the winner of this vote. So,
Josh, you
go,
okay down there? The thing's real close to
go vote if you have not in the community
Who
page.
do you think's gonna win? Do we want to have bets? We're gonna have bets who's
Oh
gonna
my
win.
gosh.
I'm gonna bet Goku Ryu. I'm gonna put my heart towards Goku Ryu.
What do you think, Josh?
A Scorpion Wolf upset.
I fucking wish, dude.
That'd be wild.
you. That would be very impressive.
I would shit so hard I'd fucking escape my ceiling.
What do you think, Billy?
I mean, I can go get a weapon right now. You're all here with me.
That's right,
so-
that's right.
I partially just want Billy to be happy.
I think
so.
I'm on Billy's side. I think Moon Madoka
Probably
is
the
going to
safer
take it.
bet.
But I don't know.
Both
It's
of them-
really freaking
Both of
close.
them have such great potential to be just
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
So, we're almost
my
there.
All right, here it
Oh,
is.
3,
3,
Messed up.
2, 1. The winner is, as I refresh my page to look at it, taking a while, with 39% of the vote, Sailor Moon
Ah!
versus Monica.
There you go.
Composite
There we
Ryu versus
go.
Composite
Watch your
Goku had
backs!
38%.
This is so
Wow.
close,
Is there a
yeah.
way for me to like look
I'm so
at
glad
like
it
the
was
number?
competitive.
Fighting.
Can't wait for both.
The
I
actual
can't
votes?
wait for it to get obliterated by Gru Megamind.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. There's
We'll
probably a way
see.
in the back end to find like the specific numbers. I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see if we can
You
find
know,
that. But it
though,
is very close.
I love
Impress
that
me,
this-
community.
Let's put some real legs on composite.
Yeah,
Goku composite
truly.
Ryu. I
Yeah,
think
really,
that's-
yeah.
That's some heat.
Funny
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, it was a really fun idea that we've found in the Discord, and I'm excited to see how many people agreed. Wow, that's 39% to 38%.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, that's that. But that is the answer. That is the final winner of this round, at least. Sailor Moon versus Madoka. God, I keep saying it wrong. But we'll see if Sailor Moon versus Madoka can keep this momentum going into the next round. And speaking of the next round, we have 4 more matchups that are going to be going up against each other that you guys will be able to vote for. So let's go ahead and check out the next round is of the Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions! Vote for your favorite match out of these 4 to happen next year on Death Battle! All champions get a say. And if you're not a champion yet, well, what are you waiting for? Come on, click that join button below and throw your
Hell
hat in the
yeah.
ring today.
What a
Let's
lineup.
go, Wiley versus Tom Bros. Rise up.
Wow,
Let's
wow,
fucking
wow,
do
wow, wow.
this. Overcome
uh,
the hiccup, toothless Baymax juggernaut.
I have no idea. I'm very curious to see how this group
Mhm.
stacks up. So we've been trying to stack up like groups that have a lot of differences in the matchups, but also ones that we think might be interesting to just like pair against, right? Like you like Wiley versus Tom is sounds like so much fun, but also I feel like a lot of people who want that would also be like, oh, but Hiccup
Right?
and Baymax
Yeah.
and Toothless,
It's me.
you know,
Probably.
and I know that creates some like friction or whatever, but like that's kind of the point of death battle, right? Like have to choose, have to make a choice. Yeah, so let us know which one you think should move forward. When the poll should be up later on today. Unless you're watching the VOD of this, then it's already up.
I'm voting Tom Wiley for sure.
Yeah, and go ahead and vote. Oh, you're voting on Wiley.
Yeah, Tom Wiley for sure. Yeah, I just think that I love doing Toon Force matchups. At this point, that
would definitely be a good Toon Force one.
Yeah.
Sackboy Maxwell would be
one's crazy.
such a fun animation.
And I want Luke back. I want to like dig into fucking
we haven't brought Luke
Grandmaster
back.
Luke. I want to get into crazy feats.
Oh, would we do Grandmaster Luke from like the expanded universe, or
we have to
angry
Saber?
Luke, angry sad Luke? Oh yeah, against Saber.
Angry sad Luke.
Maybe you get distracted with the weird milk face, right? That's
We would absolutely have milk face. We would have Luke drinking blue
milk. Yeah,
alien boob milk.
I mean, it's his thing.
Yeah.
It's his favorite thing.
I guess all milk is boob milk.
That's just how it opens. He's just on the island, just milking blue milk.
Yeah, there you go.
Saber's like, what the
I don't know
fuck?
what Saber would say because I don't know anything about Fate other than they're like it's like JoJo for history nerds, and that's a horribly inaccurate way of saying it, but that's the idea, I guess.
All right. Well, that will be up on the community tab on the Death Battle channel shortly, so keep an eye out for that. All right, let's get back to the community Death Battle. All right, let's do this. So we can go ahead and close it out a little bit, Liam, because I feel like there's probably a little bit more you want to say, but maybe not.
I just had a couple of things to like, and I can go
go for it.
pretty quickly. Okay, let's see. I got that. You can't feel pain. That's not as big a deal. Just to establish that, because I talked about Gargus, but I didn't quite establish the scaling to him. So he was able to defeat Aganos and match Hisako in battle. Hisako is like one of the like champion kind of characters who is able to like, who's on the level of like Tusk. Tusk is like kind of the guy that like fights and defeats Gargos, or is able to do so, along with like Jago and Kim Woo, a powered up Omen, Arya. They could all fight Gargos. Hisako was able to match them, and Spinal was able to match Hisako. Able to defeat Aganos, who, you know, it matches Kan-Ra, able to fight hordes of Fulgors at the same time. He would scale to Arya in that sense, who can react to within a nanosecond. And he has a shit ton of items, because Shadow Lords is also kind of an RPG, and we know what happens when we talk about RPG items. He has items that, like the Embalmed Wolf Heart, which can nullify characters blocking. He has the Gibraltar Shield Mark III, which gives him invulnerability. Stuff that regenerates his health, shadow, and instinct meter. The Skull of Resurrection, which resurrects. So essentially, like, tons of options for invulnerability, resurrection, healing, and bypassing a character's durability, or at least their block. So yeah, I think Spinal just has way more options than Cervantes, is more powerful, and poos on it, and drags him into hell.
I do want to clarify something though. Gargos is not Spinal, and in fact, in the lore of Killer Instinct, Spinal is subservient to Gargos. Gargos revives Spinal
at first, but then he joins the, like, I forget what the team, the Avengers of the Killer Instinct. He joins like the Shadow Lord guys, the cool dudes. I forget what they're fucking called.
Z-Killers or whatever the Killer Instinct group is called.
Who are specifically sent to like kill Gargos and eventually like succeed. And you can pick whichever one you want to do so. And it
does require a group of them though.
Not all at the same time.
They don't do one-on-one.
It's one-on-one with Gargos.
Well, and also, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Chat.
Oh, fuck off.
But when Gargos comes back, isn't he like less powerful than before? Isn't like a big point that he's not as powerful as he used to be back in the...
He becomes more powerful over the course of Shadow Lords, but then you also become more powerful over the course of Shadow Lords to be able to fight him.
But he never attains that, like, oh, when he fought Idol, they were gods or whatever.
No, the feats you see are like of him doing it. Like they're talking, that quote that I showed you of him destroying suns is talking about him in the present. And
in the present, but he's talking about stuff that he did in the past.
he's talking about, he said he can destroy whole suns, and that feat that I showed you of him, like the multi-continental
Of course he
feat,
would
is
say
something that
that.
does it in the Fuck me! Can Cervantes blow up a moon? I've never seen him do it. Cervantes isn't Nightmare.
The power of Soul Edge at least created a moon or moved a moon. So
Does
it
he
did
have the
something
full power
moonal.
of Soul Edge? I've never seen that explicitly stated. I can nitpick. I can sit here and nitpick all motherfucking day.
Technically, he's got a decent chunk of its power. And again, that wasn't the full power of Soul Edge. It was like
I'm not denying
Form
those
from
feats.
Soul Calibur
I'm
2.
simply saying that we can both nitpick each other's feats. I think that like having a
So what
character
we're here to
say
do, Liam.
Gargos can destroy whole suns is like feels like it was written by a versus debater. And the feat that we see of
Yeah.
him blowing away like clouds across the entire planet just by teleporting to Earth is literally
look,
like he does that in the
I really like Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur is probably my favorite fighting game outside of Smash Brothers. But like the writing in Soul Calibur is kind of shit. It's real bad.
And
I
then
didn't
Yoda was there.
Yeah,
What was that?
yeah. There's some. It also has some very like fucked up depictions of mental health. Everything they did with Cassandra is horrible. I hate it. But yeah,
Well, if it's
don't play Soul
Cassandra from
Calibur
Greek
for
mythology, then yeah.
yeah. Don't play Soul Calibur for the story. Play it for the cool characters and the fun combat.
Soul Calibur 1 is arguably the sickest game of all time. I'm gonna say that. Like that is
It's
like
great.
the game that made
1 and
the
2 are
Dreamcast,
fantastic.
and it's just
Hell yeah.
so fucking based. It's so good.
Hell yeah.
It looks good
Um,
today. It looks like graphically it holds up. It looks fucking awesome. Oh, it's
All right, let's get to these votes. I will say, like, I don't know if like power levels really matter at the end when Cervantes is immortal because of Soul Edge and can just absorb souls, and he's absorbed souls from
resist
incredibly powerful
having
people. So
a soul.
I think you'd be fine. All right, you smash them
his
apart,
body.
and then all he's left is just this goop, and you just stick the sword in and absorb the whole thing. Where is it
can
gonna
res-
go?
You can resist it. God damn it!
All right,
And
let's
you
get
disintegrate his-
to now that we have confirmed that Cervantes can absorb his soul. Let's
I think
get
I did a good job this
to the votes. Starting with the vote that you guys gave us before the show, so we'll go ahead and pull that up. Oh, I forgot the answers. We'll get to that after.
Oh.
Whoa! What?
Wow, with
What?
68% from the community poll,
That's so
Spinal takes the
mean.
first vote.
Why is
All
it 2 to
right,
1? That's so weird.
Before we get, oh, it is, isn't it? Before we get to the rest of the votes, we do have some answers from you guys, so we can go ahead and bring up the first one of that. Billy, do you want to take it?
Sure. It's Reese Elliott says, I'm going with Cervantes here. He's the original owner of Soul Edge, a blade with a whole ass universe inside of it. Cervantes also cannot die unless Soul Edge is destroyed. So Spinal's going to be the one sleeping with the fishes in Davy Jones' locker.
Whole ass universe inside it. Is that true? I actually don't know if that's where the astral plane. I thought the astral plane is its own separate.
I
separate
assume
thing.
that's
Maybe
talking about astral chaos, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's
Yeah,
inside
sure.
Soul Edge.
Oh, you
think
know,
it's-
it might have created the astral chaos. I don't know. I'm not entirely familiar with that. I'd have to spend more time on
It's
that.
universe level
Um,
now.
But yeah, I feel like that would be a bit of a stretch to say it's got the power of a universe.
Maybe it's
behind
an
it.
ass universe. That was a
Yeah.
different
Maybe.
qualifier.
But anyway, let's go ahead and bring up the other answer.
This would be blind. The lore here speaks for itself. While Cervantes cannot be fully destroyed due to his connection as a holder of Soul Edge, he can be contained or manipulated as a spirit. Spinal lives for that sort of thing. So while Cervantes may not truly die, he will spend an eternity as one of the skull spirits Spinal shoots at his next hapless victim.
That's an interesting argument. Even though it's not like an attack, does it need to literally be an attack by the mechanic of the power, or is it just
That's
that way
that's,
from the
that's why
the
I
fighting
brought up
game
that he
move?
was able to like pull himself out of Soul Edge's possession,
Ah,
and also free himself from the astral chaos somehow,
gotcha.
which is like a spiritual plane or something.
Interesting.
So we,
You were
we have
preparing
no
an
idea
argument that I
how
didn't
he
make,
does
yeah.
it, but somehow he's able to resist that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of my takeaway from it, and this is definitely like a personal interpretation, is that he was kind of willing to let Soul Edge kind of control him in a way, because it was letting him do what he wanted to do anyway, kill Spaniards. It's what he wanted to do. So like, fuck it. If it makes me super
his
powerful,
passion.
guaranteed.
Kill Spaniards.
Yeah, like that's what he wanted to do. The Spanish Navy ended up getting his father killed. He was a privateer, and so he's like,
Oh.
Spain, I'm gonna kill them all. That's basically his entire
Isn't Cervantes
motivation.
Spanish? His
Yeah.
name is oh, okay. So he's just like
Yeah.
16th century Spain.
Well,
Bad
actually, I don't know.
boys.
I'm assuming he's Spanish.
I assume,
definitely
right?
from
Cervantes
Spain,
right?
de Leon.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
he's actually
assume he's
Polish.
it might be. I don't know. All right. So the poll is up on the chat. Go ahead and let us know who you think should win. We can go ahead and get to the votes here as well. Billy, you're up first.
You had me for a while there, Ben, but I think I'm going with Spinal. I feel like he's got the edge here. It's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be going into this, based on what you were saying. But
Pirate, ghost pirate. Come
Oh,
on,
that's
skeleton
he's got
pirate.
the overt ghost pirate thing going on.
That's the pun.
Let's go with the actual
Have
skeleton
you
here,
seen? You know what? My mistake was I did not provide an image of what Cervantes looks like. Hang on.
right?
Don't you do
Like,
that joke thing where you
Spinal's
switch
just
your
like a
vote,
dumb little
because he looks
skeleton
cool.
man.
Oh no!
And
Oh, we want to talk about. You talking
Cervantes-
about fucking badass? Spinal's redesign
Uh-oh.
is shit ever.
Cervantes has always looked sick as shit. He never needed a glow up. He was already fucking
wow.
hot. All right, let's go ahead. That's 2 votes for Spinal. Josh, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm going. I feel the same, similar. Like I feel like the answer that was said, but Blind said it, and that's how I was feeling. I'm not convinced that Spinal can fully destroy or kill Cervantes. I'm going with Ghost Pirate.
Hell yeah! All right, we
like
got 2 for Spinal, 1 for Ghost Pirate Cervantes. Okay. I mean, I guess
got
technically they're
going
both
on
Ghost
here?
Pirates, but
Yeah. I just
Right,
like
so
the-
if you guys vote for Cervantes, it will be a tie, and it'll be up to our tech director Mike to fulfill that tie. But if you guys vote for Spinal, then Spinal wins. You guys know what to do. Vote Cervantes.
Let's do it.
After all, we want to make Skeletober exciting, right? Skeletober.
yeah, vote for the skeleton. Vote for Spinal. He's the
The only one
actual
doing it now, I
skeleton.
feel like
Oh,
a
that's fair.
jackass.
That's actually fair.
You said he wasn't a skeleton.
That's right. He's not the skeleton.
Shut up.
All right, we'll go ahead and end the poll. And it looks like the winner with 55% of the vote is Spinal. Oh, YouTube. Okay.
Did I just
So
sweep?
YouTube,
No, I didn't. No,
YouTube
Josh
screws
voted
up
against
the
me.
Sorry.
impressions thing. And also, whenever we do votes, sometimes it's like Spinal wins 54% of the vote. Cervantes wins 45% of the vote. Where did the other 1% of the vote go?
Don't worry
Who
about it.
knows?
Marginal.
Thanks,
Get outta
YouTube.
here.
It's inconsistently rounding.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was great. I love both these characters. I
Yeah.
think they make for a really fun death battle. And everybody loves a good ghost pirate, right? Or
Yeah.
skeleton pirate. Love that. Okay.
Listen to Spinal's theme, his new theme.
Oh, Spinal's theme is so rad. All the music in
It's
K13 is
so
so good. Yeah. Man. Okay, these are such fun characters.
Yeah.
We haven't had a Killer Instinct or Soul Calibur character in Death Battle for a while. That needs to change.
I used
right?
Spinal's theme and Tusk's theme as some inspiration for Thor versus Vegeta. This track for Thor versus
nice.
Vegeta.
Yeah, temp music, yeah. Absolutely. Well, all right, everybody, champions, everybody watching. Thank you for joining us for the first week of Skeletober Celebration. I promise this never gets old.
Celebration!
Tournament of Champions.
No.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
Didn't think about this when we were planning the tournament, that like we would have 2 title cards that come up during Skeletober.
I think we need a third, honestly.
Gosh, okay.
Tournament of Skeletober.
Billy's down there working on one now, I guess. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know if you think this should be a full-on death battle. I think it'd be really fun. But if not this one, what other representatives from Soul Calibur and Killer Instinct do you think should make their way into a death battle in the future? I would love to know what characters you want to see and what kind of matchups they should be in.
Ben wants a
So,
Soul Calibur.
Go and leave a comment.
We all want a Soul Calibur.
Absolutely. I love Soul Calibur. I love Killer Instinct too. They're
Yeah,
both great.
me
I
too.
don't play it nearly as much, but it's such a cool series and it's got such cool characters.
Love
And that's
them.
what you want from a fighting game, right?
Yeah.
Like badass
What else?
characters. Yeah. And maybe a good story.
Nah.
Nah,
I'll take
gonna
it if
get
you got
that.
it. Whatever.
I got it in MK9, and then I just had to rely on.
It's all
you
we
know,
needed.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to vote. And
Greetings, noble warrior of planet Cyber whatever. I, Lord Frieza, claim this world as my own. Cheer for me or face annihilation.
I have fought for my planet for eons. I would rather see it turn to ash than reside in your filthy hands, organic scum.
I love it when they monologue back. Pity. I'll have to construct a new mothership from your corpse.